Joe, I have bad news.
What's your bad news?
We truly, really live in a society. All right, welcome back everybody to Not Qualified. My name's Zeph.
I'm Joe.
This week we're audio only. I don't know that many of you watch the video anyway, but for those of you that do, you don't get to see our beautiful faces this week because it's a lot of work, frankly, and you aren't paying me yet. So pay up and maybe maybe things will change. This week we're talking about a movie that neither of us have seen since last year. It came out 2019.
Yep.
And it is a movie called... Oh, I was expecting you to say it.
Oh, Joker.
Yeah, we're talking about Joker. The movie that was for some reason... Oh, that was embarrassing. Sorry, sorry, I was glanced at the basketball game. A movie that for some reason was divisive when it came out.
I think it's because some people don't live in a society.
No, that's true. I mean, I guess for those of us that do live in a society, it was probably hard to understand where the people who don't live in the society were coming from.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was directed by Todd Phillips.
Yeah.
The last person I would ever think would direct a superhero movie or a knockoff Scorsese movie, which this was both.
Yeah.
The guy that did Hangover made this.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about Joker, Joe? Joseph Kerr?
Jokic. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I don't honestly really have any complaints about the movie. Like, it wasn't a perfect movie, but it wasn't. Can't find anything really to critique about it negatively.
Yeah, me too. So, I'm pretty sure everybody saw Joker. So, if you're listening to this, you probably saw Joker. It follows the character Joker, who lives in a society for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's the plot of the movie. No, Joker is... I learned this the other day. Did you know Joker is the most... I mean, it's not surprising, but he is the most... popular comic book villain of all time, like most as far as how much money he's made, and he's in the top 5 comic book characters of all time as far as popularity, like among fans. I don't remember where I read that. It was somewhere.
Wow.
So he's up there. A lot of people like Joker, and I think it's because
very credible.
I think it's because of all the cool colors that he employs, like green and red,
purple,
and white,
and green,
and red and purple.
Yeah, I think it was a very weird movie for Todd to do. We're on a first name basis, if you didn't know.
I know Todd.
Yeah, old Todd. Todd Howard.
Todd Howard, silk mouth himself. Nobody's gonna understand what that means.
Yeah,
smooth skin.
Especially hey, smooth skin. I think especially coming from like the movie Old School and the Hangover trilogy.
He made Old School?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he made Old School.
I didn't know anything he made except Hangover. But can I just state my disappointment at the fact that Mike Tyson was not in Joker? He was in Hangover.
Yeah.
Why was he not in Joker? Hear me out. Joker, how many letters does that have?
5.
How many letters does Tyson have? I rest my case.
Okay. Cool.
No, okay, in all seriousness, I thought Joker was a really good movie. It was really dark. It was a cool, just like small, character-driven movie.
Yeah.
In an era of really big budget, blockbuster, huge superhero movies. And so it was refreshing. It was really dark, to the point that I was uncomfortable at certain points.
Yeah.
And it was literally just Taxi Driver.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Phillips talked about how he was obviously inspired by Martin Scorsese in a lot of things. And this movie was... Apparently, it was a lot like King of Comedy by Martin Scorsese, which I have not seen. But the movie that I have seen that I thought this was a lot like is Taxi Driver. This movie had the same plot as Taxi Driver, except with a different ending. So, there's that. For those of you that haven't seen Taxi Driver, just imagine Joker, but without with a happy ending, kind of.
I think I'm actually kind of really hype about the next few years of superhero movies, because we're finally out of Infinity Saga movies.
I'm done with the MCU. I'm just going to watch the ones I want from now on.
I'm keeping up to date just so I don't get behind, and the moment I do decide to get back into it, I don't have a bunch of crap to catch up on. So I'm just staying up to date while I can handle it. But as far as that goes, that superhero movies go, they're kind of just making we have the Joker, that the movie we're talking about right now. We have Jared Leto's Joker in Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, but they're remaking Suicide Squad not with Jared Leto's Joker. They're also doing Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, things are looking up.
And I'm
excited for the MCU movies we do have, like the Doctor Strange 2 with Sam Raimi, like you said, and then what was the other one I was really excited for? Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. I like the new era of Marvel movies just because I think there can be a lot more...
There's a lot more creative freedom.
To go along with it. They don't have to...
They don't have to fit a cookie cutter formula like the last 5 years of Marvel.
Yeah, because a lot of them, it felt like we're like, okay, we have to get this character in there, so they would write a mediocre movie to get the character into the universe.
Captain Marvel, Black Panther,
rest in power.
What?
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh.
But I'm excited for the MCU movies because it feels like they are going to be more interesting as a whole. It feels like there's a lot more creative freedom that goes with that. But with the DC, it just feels like they're just making movies. They're just making as many of them as they want. They don't have to really matter.
They don't have to really matter.
They don't have to. It's we're just going to make a Batman movie. Cool.
I think people are going to start to think we're a DC podcast. Because we talked about the Snyder Cut. Yeah. We talked about Wonder Woman 1984. There was something else we talked about, wasn't there? That was DC?
They're easy to critique. That's why.
And then now we're talking about Joker. Yeah. But I think it's also because we're saving for those of you that have been requesting this, we're saving our Marvel movies to do a Marvel episode like we did with Pixar. A full ranking with a guest, a secret guest who will be on. So, look forward for that. That'll be here soon. But anyway, yes, Joker. I thought that the performances were amazing. I thought Joaquin Phoenix was great, of course. I thought it was really well directed. And I thought that the scene at the end, spoiler alert, where he shoots Robert De Niro was the coolest climax of a movie. Like, it was terrifying and really well done. Like, just the suspense of knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie, you're building up to this. He's rehearsing what he's going to do. He's going to go on TV and shoot himself. That's his plan. He rehearses it over and over and over, down to the last detail of how he's going to walk out. And then the best thing about it is that when he gets on the show, he walks out from behind the curtain completely differently than he rehearsed.
Yeah.
And it was at that moment I knew that he was not going to shoot himself. He's going to shoot the other guy instead. I just knew it because this guy is like representing the source of his pain or whatever, like I wanted to be famous and I can't, and blah blah blah. And so as soon as he didn't stick to his rehearsal, I knew that he was going to shoot him instead of himself when he got on the TV, and they did that, and it was horrifying, but in a really good way.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, love the movie. I love the setting. I love the
taxi driver setting.
Taxi driver setting, the 70s New York kind of feel to it.
Yep.
I just thought it was awesome. Again, the performances were honestly just really outstanding, especially when it comes to Joaquin Phoenix. Here's my question. It's an actual question, and I know this. I think this all stems from Heath Ledger's performance of the Joker.
Oh, we're going to debate Jokers?
No, I'm not going to debate Jokers.
Because Mark Hamill wins.
I completely agree.
But he doesn't count.
Yeah. Is playing the Joker really that taxing on your psyche?
No.
Because
it's all urban legend.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger died of overdose.
Yeah. And then Jared was got super weird. We're on a first name basis.
I think you're just afraid to say his last name because it's always wrong. I don't know if it's Leto or Leto.
Literally exactly why I didn't say it.
Yeah. Now that's a man that lives in a society.
Yeah, amen. He got super weird when they were filming Suicide Squad, and it felt like because Joaquin Phoenix is such a dedicated, devoted actor to his craft, it's like, oh, great, we're going to get another bunch of weird stories about his performance and how weird he is offset.
I haven't heard anything, though.
But yeah, I just think
there was that
Jared Leto is a douche.
I think Jared Leto is a douche. Didn't he start a cult in South America or something?
Yeah,
like on an island or something.
I don't remember. Probably.
Well, anyway, yeah. No, the only thing about Joaquin Phoenix was that weird thing they did for Jimmy Kimmel. It was like a prank.
Yeah.
You remember where it was like a supposedly leaked footage from backstage, and he was really screaming at somebody on set, and then it turned out to all be a prank for Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, I haven't heard anything weird. What I will say is, speaking of weird, let's talk about why this movie was so controversial for no reason at all. How it this was just the most tame, normal, like, yeah, it was a dark version of a superhero movie. And then there was controversy generated around it before it had come out because of what people thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, I remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely,
do you remember how badly the media wanted there to be a shooting?
Yes, I do remember, yes.
They kept saying how this movie incites violence, and it became a liberal conservative thing, as of course, and it became like a political thing because weirdos on 4chan have the Joker as their hero, and so it became like, if you like Joker, you're a right-wing corrupt nut. And then the media is like, this movie needs to be banned. Nobody said that, but that's an exaggerated gist of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it's going to incite violence. And then they were saying after the movie came out, it was like weeks of almost felt like the major news outlets wanted there to be a shooting to justify what they had been saying for months. And then nothing happened because it was just a normal movie.
Yeah.
And then everybody moved on after fighting about it online for weeks. And then you had the opposite reaction of all these weird right-wing nut, like, conspiracy channels on YouTube, you know, like that subset of YouTube who wouldn't quit talking about it for months after that. I don't know if it was just me that like kept seeing that stuff on Reddit and YouTube or whatever, but I remember that being, it felt like it was blown out of proportion for no reason, and it was just a normal movie.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a weird note. I think it's much better to watch Joker now because now you're not afraid. I remember being in the theater and almost being afraid a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that was stupid, but just the extent that had been talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just dumb.
It's just big media trying to hype on some kind of message.
Yeah, it's just clickbait. It's just clicks. Speaking of clicks, can you guys please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts?
Can you smash that freaking like button?
Smash that freaking like button, fam. It would actually really help us out. And also, if you don't have any not qualified merch, go buy it. I have a phone case. It's a not qualified phone case, and it's pretty cool if I do say so myself. So go buy yourself some merch. It's pretty cheap. Leave us a like. Go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 10 star. That would be impressive. A 5-star review. And you'll get a free high five from me and Joe.
Yeah, if we happen to ever see each other.
Yeah, and you can prove that you left us a review. I'm not just going to give out free high fives.
Yeah, for sure. What's your score for this movie?
Oh, I forgot about that. My score for Joker is honestly probably a 20.
Yeah, I'd probably say like a 28 or 9.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good. It was a breath of fresh air, especially.
Yeah. Compared
to what we had seen most of 2019. Because that was the year, Endgame came out 2019, right?
Yeah.
So that was like the apex of just like, oh, all these movies are happening, and this one was different. So
yeah, it wasn't the normal cookie cutter, generic superhero movie. It was very, like you said, character driven, very detailed in its character exposition.
So I'd give it a 19. And for a refresher, for those of you who don't know the system, 1 is good, 100 is bad. So a 20, 19 to 21, somewhere I'd give it. Yeah. That's a good score, not a bad score.
Yeah. Solid.
All right. Thanks for listening, and I will catch you on the flippity flop, Joe.
All right.